Welcome everyone to the NAILBA Case Manager Certification Program, a professional development and certification opportunity for case managers, new business, and operational specialists across the life insurance industry. I'm Tiffany Markarian, Managing Director of Advantus Marketing, and I'm joined by an esteemed panel of industry leaders who were instrumental in the design of this new professional development opportunity that was curated by NAILBA for the benefit of BGAs, carriers, and life insurance organizations. With me today are three NAILBA board members who are members of our certification steering committee. Joining me is Debbie Hannam, President and Partner at Brokers Clearinghouse, Tori Van Dusen-Roos, Principal and Chief Operations Officer at Diversified Brokerage Services, Luke Ramsey, President of the ASA Group, and also joining us are three industry-leading new business, underwriting, and case management experts who were involved from day one in writing and designing every aspect of the new case manager certification curriculum. That's Abby Milner-Mann joining us, Vice President of New Business at the Milner Group, Kany Maclellan, AVP of Underwriting and New Business Manager at Broker Service Marketing Group, Helena Roberts, who joins us from Lincoln Financial Group as the Vice President of Life Solutions, Underwriting and New Business. And finally, we have Melinda Meyer, President of Aspen Strategies, who is a consultant to BGAs and insurance organizations in maximizing operations and efficiency. She as well was a member of the certification curriculum design team. So due to time today and screen limitations, we cannot have everyone on the panel today, but know that we had a curriculum design team of over 25 industry leaders, insurance operations and product experts, and we thank them all. And you'll see them on the certification website when you go to matriculate and join the program. So we are so pleased to launch this program for you today from NAILBA. So what is the NAILBA Case Manager Certification Program? Well, the program is an official professional development certification that helps expedite the learning and training curve for new case managers within the life insurance industry while certifying experienced case managers on the key skills, responsibilities, and best practices in their role. So in essence, it helps case managers expand and broaden their abilities as true business consultants. So the certification has been designed with a life insurance focus, and it's comprised of 8 online learning modules, and it crosses wide aspects of the case management consulting process. It starts with life insurance product training. It goes into the underwriting process with emphasis on field underwriting, table shaving, negotiating underwriting offers. The role of the BGA is another module. The case manager role is well defined and all of the interdependencies and independencies that are part of that role. We go into the types of case submissions, the case management requirements, full discussions on accelerated underwriting opportunities, working with the different types of advisors out there from RIAs, investment advisors, property and casualty, benefits, and more. And finally, the 8th module is regulatory considerations. So the 8 core modules are webinar-based, much like an online classroom. Within the 8 modules are 27 different courses with mastery quizzes, and it gives firms and case managers and operational specialists 11 solid hours of professional development. And it's followed by 175 question final exam to pass and earn the NAILBA certification. Once you pass that exam with a score of 70 or higher, you earn recognition as a NAILBA certified case manager, which includes an icon to proudly utilize next to your name, your email signature, and your professional resume. So case managers and new business specialists across the life insurance industry now have an exclusive certification all their own through NAILBA, and our panel was intimately involved in the development for you. So let's begin with the why, and I'd like to have Debbie Hannam join us because Debbie, as a member of the NAILBA board, but also a BGA running the operation in its own right, you were the visionary champion of this program. You had the idea for a very specific reason. Welcome, Debbie.
You know, it's always been an issue for me to understand in our industry why so many of us are challenged with the same things. And I've been at other organizations at different levels. I've brought this up before. And it just so happens at one of our NAILBA board meetings, Dan Lebert and myself were at dinner with everyone, and we were kind of having a think tank session as to what can we do to provide more value to our members of this organization. And, you know, I brought up the idea, it's something that we're all challenged with, and that case management especially, and there's a lot of other departments and a lot of other tasks that we all do the same, but case management especially, there's a lot of repetition that happens and a lot of things that we all do the same that we just customize in our own agencies to work for ourselves. And I just said it would be so nice, because training is so difficult with either employees that already understand this business or employees that don't. I mean, this whole program is fit for both. So the great part about that is having a great idea like that is only good if somebody is behind you and feels the same passion and shares that. So, you know, that's what Dan did. He took it, and obviously with Chad Milner, they took that brainchild and they really made it something great that I think is going to be so advantageous for all of us in our field. Tiffany, you had also asked me what kind of impact financially and lost cost opportunity does it, how it impacts people in our office. And when I actually put the pencil to the paper, I was astonished at the price that it cost to take some of your senior case managers and have them train, and how long it takes to train these people. And, you know, when I put a number to it, I was almost at $20,000 when I look at how long it really takes to train somebody well. And that's a big impact, because you're taking your good senior case managers who do a really good job, pulling them away from their job to try and train people with something that's difficult to do in our industry with so many carriers that we work with. So that's where it all started. I'm just really excited to see where this is go, and the advantages for the agencies, how it's going to help everyone.
Well, thank you so much, Debbie, for being the visionary pioneer of the program. And you talked about pulling capacity from a firm to train. You also want it to be a good experience for the new case manager. I mean, they're coming into the career and the role, and they deserve structure, and they deserve to excel in their role. So I thank you for that. I'd like to go to Luke Ramsey, because as we know, many BGAs are not massive operations. Many may have less than 10 employees total across all the functions in their firm. So when we talk, Luke, about bringing capacity issues into the fold, when you've got a small organization and they have to stop to train someone new, wouldn't it be great to have some structure and training available to you? So Luke, what do you see the impact for BGAs of all sizes?
Yeah, thank you, Tiffany. As this program developed through 2019, I kept thinking about the value to a boutique firm like ours, and how difficult and painful sometimes it becomes when we have a case manager leave. We're replacing that case manager, and of the 3 or 4 case managers, you have to take one away, preferably your most knowledgeable, your primary case manager, and put them into the fold of becoming a trainer. And that training process can last weeks to months, depending upon the skill sets that the new hire might have. So pulling your primary, your most knowledgeable person out of the workload does create service and consistency issues that boutique firms like us struggle with. With that being said, this as we moved into 2020 with COVID, I feel like the value of this program is even enhanced, because you now have to figure out a way to remotely do that same training versus through the online system. You have a uniform platform that provides the same education to everyone and hopefully sets a bar that's very high.
Thank you for that, Luke. And at this point, we've been talking about new case manager development, but our experienced case managers, this industry is evolving so quickly. and it's moving fast, and new procedures and workflows from carriers are being created, and new demands in this virtual environment to solve underwriting and placement needs. Tori, I'd like to bring you into the fold because there have been a lot of changes. And sometimes people can think, oh, if there's automated, accelerated, things are becoming more efficient, what does that mean to my role? And if anything, more than ever, we need our experienced talent to become consultants to these new platforms, steer cases to the right places. What is the right platform? And of course, the complex permanent cases. So Tori, your thoughts, please.
Yeah, I would definitely love to go head to head with anyone that doesn't think that case management is one of the most challenging jobs in a brokerage agency and or even an insurance company. Just the sheer amount of knowledge that they have to have is staggering. You know, most brokerage agencies represent 10, 15, 20 different manufacturers. And then you have to take a look at how many different products each manufacturer puts out. And it used to be some specialized in certain lines, but now it seems like most manufacturers have all of the same products. And that's a tremendous amount of information. These different product types, they might have niches or unique properties. So that requires additional forms, unique requirements, and specific guidelines. And then you throw in the regulatory and compliance issues that we all have to deal with. I mean, these people have to be experts, or you might be in risk of losing an account or a customer. And so it's really a lot of pressure that we put on these individuals. So it's wonderful that we're able to bring a robust training platform for everybody. And whether you're hiring new people or you have advanced people, it's really nice to be an agency principal and know that you've set the bar. Like you've level setted everybody's knowledge and education as far as what you want them to know on the fundamentals of case management. And then you can get into, you know, the specifics for your agency, using your agency management system, how you do it, you know, what the BCH process is, what the Milner Group process is, you know, all of that. Everybody's got their unique way to service their customers, but this is just a fabulous foundation. And excuse me, like Debbie mentioned, and Luke too, oftentimes you don't have the time or the resources to train somebody. So what a fabulous way to bring somebody in. And like you said, let them go off on their own and start learning how to become a great case manager.
And we know case managers sometimes wear many hats in a firm. And with that, you want to expand knowledge, not just master the fundamentals. So this covers such a wide area. Many of our experienced case managers who designed the program realized, wow, product knowledge is something we don't often get. The advisors get it, our business development liaisons in the firm do, the regulatory training, and then also where's the industry evolving? Advisors don't all have a core focus on insurance. Some have an ancillary focus. We need to know those things and how do we tier our support? So at this point, I'd like to bring in two experienced managers of underwriting and new business teams, and also case managers themselves with decades of experience. Abby Milner-Mann, you're one of these people that wrote every single word with us. And from your perspective going through this as someone with a significant amount of experience, could you discuss the specific skills and benefits that experienced case managers will gain from this program?
Well, I don't want to give away too many secrets, Tiffany, because I want the suspense to still be there. But everybody knows who's in this industry, the dense amount of information that a case manager is responsible to know and understand and comprehend. And so the new case manager, it's obviously the foundational terminology and requirements and processes and responsibilities that they need to understand. But to really add value as a case manager, that's just the starting point. So I think it's a great starting point, you know, for training new case managers. But for that value add case manager, the one that really helps save a sale, helps maintain a relationship with the valuable customer, you've got to know some tricks of the trade. And this really does give you all of these best practices that all of these people, we've all come together and shared different things we do to expedite a case, or when to ask for an exception or when not to, how to communicate with the advisor in a scenario, or how to communicate with the carrier in a certain scenario. There are so many without giving away too many secrets that are in this curriculum, there are so many best practices. That's the thing that keeps coming to my mind for an experienced case manager. For me to know that this is what is industry standard for that experienced case manager has really been valuable. And I'm excited to get every one of our case managers new experience. We have some that have been here for 20 years, and I know hands down, there will be a lot of information that will be new to her or will be reminding her and all the other case managers on our team. They will all be going through this curriculum. So hopefully that answers the value I think this curriculum has.
Thank you so much. I know you were very intent on saying we need to give them language, how to work with a carrier underwriter. When is it appropriate to ask for an exception? How do we navigate those conversations? How do we navigate conversations with advisors? So it truly is best practices from experienced case managers who wrote the curriculum. So I thank you for that. Kany Maclellan, I'd like to bring you in. Again, one of our seasoned field liaisons at Broker Service Marketing Group. And it was very important for you to make sure that case managers had a wider knowledge of life insurance licensing and contracting and the regulatory environment, because that all affects the urgency and placement of a case. So maybe you could talk a little bit more about that, Kany, and again, the specific benefits you gained going through this program as a very experienced case manager and the value of having a certification like this.
No problem. Thanks, Tiffany. Just to add to Abby's comments, case managers will gain a wider knowledge since the certification course really covers beyond what a new business manager initially trains on, which is largely focused on new business, app process, and the underwriting piece. The course is in the module tailored to cover all facets of the process. So you're getting a little taste of contract and licensing and how that impacts the smoothness of a case submission. Why commissions is important and drives why and how agents conduct their business. Case delays do affect the release of commissions. To insurance regulations, as you mentioned before, what are they and why suitability matters to life sales? So all of these are parts of integral foundational pieces to equip the case manager the ability to look beyond the application. Now, for larger companies, the case manager will probably be working with the team so they can tap into the different departments, contracting, licensing, commissions, regulatory considerations. However, as Luke mentioned, for the smaller firms, the boutique firms, some case managers do it all. They're wearing many hats, so having this course dedicated to these important topics can only add value. What in my experience, been doing this for over 15 years, case management has evolved. We're more than just data gatherers, more admin support, more than just application handlers. Case managers, we foster relationships. We add technical, even at times emotional support for the sales force and the field agents. We're negotiators. We work out the IGO, NIGO discrepancies and underwriting offers that just don't make sense. This role has truly evolved and it's a game changer. At the end of the day, if you are a reliable, knowledgeable, invested case manager, the probability of producing a successful outcome is much higher. So to me, the value of this certification will put this role on the map. It adds legitimacy, recognition, and it showcases the unique ability required to be a stellar case manager. I mean, being certified through NAILBA will give the case manager an impartial third-party endorsement of a professional knowledge and experience, which I think can certainly translate across many companies and industries. So we're definitely moving in the right direction.
Well, thank you so much for that. And Abby and Kany, let's be clear, this is not an easy, well, let's watch some videos and take a class. It's note-taking. The goal here is to learn the material because as Helena, who's joining us from Lincoln Financial Group, bringing the carrier's perspective, Helena, when cases are submitted correctly, when the field underwriting is well assessed up front so that they go to the right carriers or the right platforms, talk about the benefits that you see, Helena, from a carrier's role that this program provides in terms of the bottom line case cycle times and placement ratios and submission efficiency and better underwriting assessments.
Yeah, thank you very much, Tiffany. I first want to start off by saying, as the sole carrier that was involved in the creation of this program, I really appreciated the opportunity. It was extremely insightful to learn all that goes into the case management and how extremely important it is across the life insurance industry. Really offering this program, it further enhances a case manager's workflow ready skills and really opens doors for more opportunities. Now, solely from a carrier's perspective, there are many, many benefits in my opinion. First, by partnering with BGAs who have NAILBA certified case managers, it's likely going to result in a better service experience overall. That training is going to set them apart from the competition, and they're going to have a broader understanding of various carriers' guidelines. Tori mentioned this earlier, and therefore they're going to set more realistic expectations with the agents. And in my opinion, it's even going to reduce the number of exception requests. For example, waiving of required forms or signatures or extension of deadlines that may have been missed by less knowledgeable case managers. Less hoops to jump through, less surprises along the way, because that case manager will be more knowledgeable on what's required up front. Second of all, that foundational knowledge obtained in this program is really going to lead to higher percentage of in good order submissions to carriers, which results in faster turnaround times and avoids unnecessary delays. And that translates to getting cases paid faster and ultimately commission getting paid out faster, which is a win-win for everyone involved. Another benefit that I saw was working with a case manager who's certified is their ability to enhance the underwriting risk assessment process. So this program takes them through such things as how to submit an effective cover letter, which is extremely important to carriers, communication tips when interacting with carrier underwriters. And this helps to build and maintain those strong relationships between that certified case manager as well as that carrier underwriter. And that helps to achieve, in my opinion, desired results and maximize the effectiveness. And at the end of the day, really this all leads to an improved placement ratio. By investing in the front end, it avoids surprises that really could occur with the rate classification, and it leads to a solid sale on the back end. Now, as a carrier, there's also benefits of having our case managers go through this program as well. In addition to everything the panelists have mentioned and myself, it really provides a broader understanding of that entire process from the very beginning of the sale all the way to the end, and not just the carrier workflows that are typically trained. And it allows carrier home office employees, to really upskill beyond that carrier specific training that they receive. So overall, I really see this program as being incredibly valuable to carriers. By partnering with a NAILBA certified case manager, it's really going to ensure that that process runs smoothly and effectively from the very beginning. And knowledgeable case managers really reduce that back and forth that sometimes occurs, which ultimately keeps operational costs down, as Debbie mentioned earlier in the call. So obtaining this certification, Tiffany mentioned it as an icon. It's a mark of distinction, in my opinion, and it really proves to everyone that you've acquired the knowledge to provide exceptional case management to all those you serve. And those you serve will feel more confident in your ability. Eventually, I really believe we're going to get to a point where all employers will probably require a certification for all of their case managers, because they're really going to recognize the incredible value that this NAILBA case manager certification program brings to their organization. I really want to thank you again, Tiffany, for the opportunity really to share all these benefits that this offering will provide to the carriers, but as well as to firms in the entire industry.
Well, we thank you for that. And as you mentioned, there's been a wide array of individuals and talent involved in building this program. The bulk of the individuals designing this program were case managers across NAILBA member firms, well-known firms. So to Debbie and Luke's point, rather than have one of your people train them on the workflows, which is the right role, we're training them on the fundamentals, but they're getting the background and best practices of NAILBA member firms, long legacy firms to train your people. So it's been carefully scripted. Before I get to Melinda Meyer for the consultant's point of view in working with firms, I would like to come back to you, Debbie, if I may, because you had two of your most senior case managers go through this training. And I'd love to hear what their thoughts were, because sometimes they think, oh, we have to go through something. Well, when you go through it, you realize some things that are important to remember and maybe bring back into processes.
You know, Tiffany, it truly was astounding when they went through it, because I wasn't exactly sure what I was going to hear from them. So, you know, none of that was planned. We were just asked. And so I had two veteran case managers that have been with me for over 20 years, both of them, that went through it. And they were just, they couldn't believe the information that was in there. And I'm not trying to sell this other than it brought to light some things that they hadn't really thought about in a while, some things that they had forgotten about. And they just thought, from a standpoint of anybody who has some experience, who has no experience, or has a ton of experience, the whole program in itself was just very enlightening and knowledgeable for them. So I was thrilled that they had gone through it, and they had such great accolades about the whole program.
We appreciate that feedback. Thank you. And Tori, same with you. Your director of operations was intimately involved in writing every word, scrubbing every quiz, making sure the right notes were hit in training. Leah's feedback.
She'll probably kill me for saying this, but she's never really case managed, but always been a leader of new business and case management. But she admitted to me that she went through one of the modules, and at the end, she barely passed. She said, this isn't something that you can rush through. You really need to pay attention and watch every module and make sure that you're retaining it. Like you said, Tiffany, take notes. So it's really not just for the newbies that you hire, but, you know, so beneficial to the experienced case managers. Like Debbie said, there's so much information, you can't remember it all. And so having a refresher is just fabulous.
And every firm, rightly so, is going to have different workflows and procedures in the way that they run new business. So imagine having your team have the fundamentals mastered that you can take and then apply to your workflows appropriately. So thank you for that. Melinda Meyer, I think we're singing your chorus here, because firms bring you in to help with this very issue, among the many other things that you help firms with in their growth, their business development, their succession. When you look at staffing, particularly new business ops, case management, and this type of training for new people, but also a certification for experienced, what gaps are you seeing that this is fulfilling, and what are you excited to see about for firms and BGAs and other insurance organizations that this applies to?
This might put me out of a job, actually. I think. All kidding aside, this is a phenomenal program. You know, when you look at the interior of a BGA world, sales drives most everything. And those sales folks generally, not always, but generally come in with some foundation, whether they took accounting or they took an analyst course or some financial course or have a degree in that. I don't think in my long life in the insurance industry have I ever seen a case manager who took a case management course in high school or in college. No one said, you want to be a case manager today? And we had 20 people say, oh, pick me because I have that experience. This program is incredible. I have a large group of my clients come to me initially because they're looking to build their infrastructure or improve it. And usually it comes at a time in panic and despair when they've had a case manager leave. They don't know how to look for somebody. They don't know what kind of experience. 90% of the people don't have experience. So the salespeople, if they don't have an experienced case manager, end up having to train the case manager And there's a big difference in knowing sales and knowing case management. So oftentimes the case manager is left to learn the CRM on its own, and the carriers kind of help a lot in what they need to know. And I can't tell you what a savior this program is going to be to the majority of clients that I have that have case management staffing issues. Having this foundation so that they can actually take the time to learn all of the tailored cultured aspects of a BGA world, and which shifts, actually, I've seen a big shift in teaching and supporting a case manager, not just by filling in forms and filling in the CRM and being able to push widgets down the manufacturing pipe. They actually are being groomed to pay attention to the relationship management. So everyone on the call that has mentioned the wide variety that these folks are required to know. In the old BGA world, it was very myopic. And I'm talking old because I am, but it was very myopic. And now it is this is the utility player in the organization that makes the revenue flow. And without this program, I don't think, particularly where we are in the landscape now, with all of the changes that are going on, with all of the people that are, it's not just the BGA that's getting a little gray around the edges, it's also the historic case manager. How do they intend to replace those seasoned case managers without the appropriate training? Not to mention the certification, it's good, as Helena said, that gives them a little more credibility in the carrier's eyes, but it also gives the case manager a boost in their confidence in doing their job. I see this program as really helping the BGA, the case management process, the efficiencies, and the relationship and credibility with the carriers.
Well, thank you so much for that. So let's get down to how do we access the program. So the case manager certification has its own website where all of the courses are held, plus resources that the case manager can access. So they can watch the videos over and over again to reinforce learning. They have their quizzes, but they also have checklists such as expediting an APS or preparing for a paramed exam, or sample questionnaires that they can use, questions to ask an underwriter. So it really is a destination for case managers in the life insurance industry, whether you're at a BGA, a carrier, an independent insurance firm. This is exceptional learning for you. Let's go through now for NAILBA members, the special opportunities that we have for pricing. Tori, as a member of the board, take us through how NAILBA has structured the program.
Sure. Just real quick, I'd like to recap. If you're an ops leader, new business leader, or perhaps a case manager that's watching this on the behalf of your principal, some real quick selling points that were brought up here. Placement ratios can increase, reduction in closed cases and not taken, increase in customer service, and also getting the carrier credibility, not to mention the fact that you can walk into a producer's office or a new accounts office and tell them that you've got every single one of your case managers certified with this program just sets you apart from the competition. So that's one of the reasons why I'm really excited to get my people running through it. And here's the pricing. So we are applying for an official designation to attach to this certification. So more about that is to come. The NAILBA member pricing is $995 per person for the first 3. For the 4th case manager and beyond, there's a discount at $795. For non-NAILBA members, the pricing is $1595. And as with many other designations, the education doesn't just stop there. We have a 2-year recertification or renewal process. During that 2-year period, we will be offering quarterly webinars, so a total of 8 over the 2-year period. The webinars cost a nominal fee of $25, and then there's a $99 renewal fee. So that's it. And additional, it doesn't stop there, because we're already planning additional advanced modules that dive deeper into specific topics like underwriting for one. And then also planning either a virtual, if we're still in this environment, or an in-person symposium for your case managers to attend. So I'm just so excited, and I can't wait for the future of this program and how much lift it's going to give our industry.
Thanks, Tori. I'm going to add one more selling point there. When cases are processed, whether or not that case gets placed, you incur the cost. So the goal here is to place those cases, not just for operational efficiency and profitability, but so that the client gets the coverage that they need. This is the year 2020 that whether advisors have insurance as a core focus, an ancillary focus, clients are asking, they are afraid, their fears, uncertainties, and doubts of their health. This is an indelible impression. And I think the insurance industry is going to be very busy for the next few years, because clients are asking their advisors, what do I have? How much do I have? Does it last for my lifetime? What happens if there's a critical illness? So now we're going to be ready to stand prepared, and our case managers can meet that challenge. So for all of you watching who will be entering the coursework, first of all, welcome. And for those of you that attain your certification, congratulations in advance. I want to thank our panel for being with us, most importantly for building this exclusive curated curriculum through NAILBA. We look forward to expanding this program and impacting your personal and professional development. Have a great finish to the year, everyone, and a very healthy and prosperous 2021.